Recording.
Thank you. Just begun our meeting for the 12/16. Good evening, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? Okay, sounds like everyone is doing great. All right.
Okay, it's Christmas time. Let's go.
All right. Well, I guess we'll just get to business. Since our last meeting, I know that we missed our November meeting. It was canceled. We had our October meeting where we spoke to sanitation. Um, has anyone Does anyone have any information to provide since speaking with sanitation? Has there been any things addressed that was discussed during that meeting? Any updates based on what anyone has seen throughout the community?
Like what?
Well, I know that we had mentioned that there are issues with street cleaning not showing up on time. There are issues with double parked cars. There are issues with cars not being moved during street cleaning. There are issues with water not being used when they come down the streets. I mean, everything that we discussed with sanitation.
This is Hazel
Well,
Martinez. Good evening.
Good
I
evening.
haven't seen any change in anything.
and also I've spoken with our community affairs individuals and Chen and Whitaker, and they're not responsive. I've had issues with my neighbors. I've written letters, and they have not been responsive. And my neighbors are responsible for dumping on my property on Farragut and Troy. I have them on videotape. I have very nice cameras. I don't have the ring camera. I have high tech cameras, infrared cameras, and they've been dumping on my property because they don't want to walk around the corner where they are supposed to put their garbage. And I have them dropping 7 large garbage bags on the corner of Troy and Farragut. And I tell them that the 311 ticket says that they dump between 5 and 7:30. The enforcement agent comes at 9:30. So who are we kidding? Why would you come at 9:30? And so I have a debate between Chen and um, sanitation enforcement saying that one not Chen, Caruso saying that we have people to do the job. And Chen says, no, we don't. And so when I hear that we don't have enforcement agents to come out to do the work until 9:30 because we have such a large city, I find it hilarious.
See, now that's exactly what I told Caruso. That's what Chen told me,
Right.
that they lack the manpower to address the issues. And he told me that is not the case and to bring any of those types of issues to him.
Yep.
And he,
So
yeah.
yeah. So we, and to sit here and to hear this, it's hilarious. And until you get Chen, Whitaker, and Caruso in the room, who are we kidding? So when I have to drag heavy bags off my property and drag it back on the person's property who's putting it on my property, um, so I don't get the ticket. Um,
So you said you have videos of this person doing this.
yeah, I got about about 4 to 5 occasions that this person's been doing it. So now I had to get a friend of mine to sit outside, wait for the person to do it, and tell them don't do it because I can't get enforcement to do it.
And Mr. Caruso said that seeing those videos aren't enough, that they have to
Oh,
actually.
no, 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 no. I haven't spoken to Caruso because Caruso, I don't have Caruso's email to send him the videos.
Well, I'm thinking back to the meeting that we had. I thought that we specifically spoke about that with him, and he said that they have to actually be caught in the act of doing it. They can't
Right,
just go based on video.
right. But I put him in the 311, and that is an $18,000 violation. But if they brought their behinds out there during the time that I state that they're consistent, because they're going to come out to do the garbage between 5 and 7:30. But if you're going to come at 9:30 at night after they finish doing the violation, who are we kidding? So either they're getting a take some money under the table from this individual, or or they just don't care. And then the other thing is, they came out to say, "Oh, we didn't see any violation," because they can't went in the front of the house where the address is instead of around the corner where the dumping was. So you're not going to get out your squad car to take a walk around the perimeter of the house. That's another joke. There's 7 large bags of garbage. So you didn't see any violation?
Oh.
These guys are funny. So it's a corner house. So you didn't see 7 large bags? So I have to call sanitation, said, come remove the bags of garbage when you do the bags of garbage on Saturday. So they do, and then they close out the ticket. And of course, I attach pictures because they can't do videos. I attach pictures. So I've been in contact with Daniel from Farrah Lewis's office. I've been in contact with Rochelle from Monique's office. I've been in contact with Miss Frazier from our community board office. So that should be going. I'm following the protocol. So that should be going to Caruso. So I've been talking to what's his name, enforcement agents, and anybody else that would listen to me. And they're all saying, well, unless we catch them, we can't do anything. And sanitation says, well, the garbage in their yard, the garbage in the yard was piling up for 3 weeks. And so the rodents and the vermin and everything else that wants to crawl up in their yard, when they don't move the garbage from in front of the house, it's private property. So I have to look at all the rat infestation, because the other joke is Rat Patrol. Rat Patrol will come out 3 weeks after they clean up and say, oh, we don't see a violation. Then they'll call me on my Sunday to disturb my church service to tell me that, oh, we didn't see a violation. And that's Officer Odie, Inspector Odie, who's from Rat Patrol. And he's another joke. So I write nasty letters and tell them they're all on the take. And then they get offended. So then the place gets cleaned up because I offended all of them, telling them they're all on the take. So now the yard is now clean. And they all move the garbage around the corner. But that will only put a band-aid on it for maybe about a couple of days. And now we know January 2nd is coming, and the garbage has to be in bins. Black bags will no longer be in effect. And let's see what happens, because they will now have to put the trash in the bins. And the bins are sitting in front of their house and they're chained. So I don't know what's going to happen. There's 20 people living in a 3-story building. 20 people and 3 dogs. They have only 2 black cans and 1 blue can. There's no way that they that will supply enough for those people. I have 7 people in my building. And I have 2 black bins, 1 blue can, 1 green can, and a compost can. They have only 3 cans. And they have 20 people, and half of that are children. So you know how much garbage they put out. The top floors put out 4 bags a day, 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. The third floor puts out the same amount. So the bins are filled in the morning. So in the afternoon, there's no room for anything else. When they come down in the evening, the bins are already full. So they're overflowing at night on the ground. So as long as they're in plastic bags, sanitation says, well, they're in plastic bags. They're long they're in bags, it's fine. So the rats, the squirrels, whoever wants to cook the possums, whoever wants to come by and tear up the bag, as long as they're in bags, it's fine. And as long as it's not spilling onto the sidewalk, there's nothing sanitation can do. And that's the only home on that block that looks like that. So
Are,
40
are,
after 40 years, after 40 years, I'm living in a rat infestation.
are they doing this at a like certain time on average when they do it? Is there like a certain time of day that they're always doing it, or is it just like random?
The kids bring out the garbage whenever they have garbage. So I got video. They all sanitation. This is the other joke. Sanitation comes at, let's say, around on Saturday around 9 a.m. the latest. They'll bring out the garbage at 11 a.m. and fill up the bins. They don't even make an attempt to go around the corner and bring out garbage. I've seen them fill up the whole yard with garbage, recycle. I had them on videotape doing this. It's horrible. And the landlord does not live on the premises. This has been going on for the entire year. So this homeowner bought this house 2 years ago, and the first year it was all renovation. So the first problem I had was him doing illegal renovation. Now it's the second year. Now he's filled the apartment with tenants, and now it's the garbage. Troy Avenue is known for the garbage being put in the common driveway. His tenants do not put their garbage in the common driveway, they put it in the front of the house. The sanitation does not pick up in the front. So their cans are in the front, the tenants put it in the front, and then it used to be the tenant who would take the bags out the can and take it around the corner on trash day. Now they got tired of doing that. So now they hired someone, and that person was dumping on my property, even though he knows it doesn't belong there. So it's a never ending saga.
I mean, the only thing I can do is, I mean, is try to contact Mr. Caruso and discuss it with him. I don't know what the solution to that is because I have a feeling he's just going to go back to his previous statement that the person has to be caught in the act of doing it. And I know that they are not going to have someone sitting out there waiting for someone
Well,
to come out of the
well,
house.
no, no, it's it's not random. If they come at the time I tell them to come, then he'll catch them. But if you're going to come at 9 o'clock at night, you will not catch them because it's already done. That's the point.
So there is a particular time that they're doing this.
Yes, it's between 5 and 7:30.
5 and 7:30 p.m.
Yep, on Tuesdays and Fridays.
They come out and they just put their garbage on your property. That's what they're
Yep,
doing.
yep.
Well, I'll send him an email and see what he says. You know,
So
you said that you've been in touch with Daniel from Lewis's office. Well, has he been saying about this?
Daniel says that they've been waiting for him also because I wanted to speak to you about it at the last public meeting we had, but we got thrown out the meeting.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it got thrown out. So didn't get the opportunity to speak to you. I spoke to Daniel in the hallway when we got thrown out, and that had brought it to his attention. And that's when he spoke to Chen, and that's when um, Chen sat on it, and he spoke to enforcement. Enforcement came at 9 o'clock at night, and I said, "Whoop de doo." They didn't see anything, so they closed the ticket. And that pissed me off. So that's when I knew they were on the take. Because the guy says the person that's the building manager says to the neighbor, my neighbor says, "Oh, I'm very well protected," because she shares the gate with them, the backyard gate. So she has the problem also because they share that backyard gate together. And he chained it where she couldn't even get access to it until she had to keep clicking the lock. The owner lives upstate somewhere. I don't even know who the owner is. I've seen him once, but I don't even know his name. I know the building manager's name, but not the homeowner's name.
I'll definitely, send the email with those specific instructions regarding the 5 to 7:30 p.m. window
Mhm.
and
Oh,
see what he
yes,
says,
it's all my 311 tickets.
and tell
They,
him once again that Mr. Chen is claiming that they don't have manpower to do it. I mean,
yeah,
see what he says. I
and
still haven't had this man follow up with me on the things that we had discussed that he said he was going to look into.
of
I
course
have
not.
I've never heard anything back from this man.
You're not.
And I wanted to get him at the last meeting, but the last meeting got canceled, and then it didn't happen this time. So I know it's the holidays and everything, so maybe for the one in January we can get him to come back. But
Yeah,
you
because
know,
Inspector Johnson called me, and he says he wanted to help me with the situation, and he must have worked miracles because they did clean up the yard Friday. So he
that's
must
good.
have did something and got rat patrol. Somebody did something because the yard was cleaned on Friday afternoon. So somebody called somebody.
That's good. Somebody's listening.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll do that and see if I hear back from this guy. It might take Farrah Lewis's office to get in touch with him to respond to me. I guess like I don't know.
Yeah. But it's someone really needs to get this guy, this building manager, a poker up his behind because he's really making the community filthy without a penalty. Especially if if he's dumping and the bags are not, they're mixed with garbage. If that bag weighs 50 pounds, there's bottles and cans and stuff in there. It should not be weighing that shouldn't be that heavy. Especially if you're supposed to be recycling. And those were black bags. So, and it's his tenants.
Yeah. All right, yeah, I'll definitely do that and see what comes of it. Um, Miss Martinez, you said that nothing has changed. What have you been seeing?
I haven't seen any enforcement in terms of the alternate side parking. Cars are not moved. They're so used to not moving that even when the sweeper, if on the rare occasion that the sweeper does come, they just go around whatever cars are there, or they don't, you just pass by. And I don't, and I was told that there was a supervisor's truck supposed to be behind this sweeper. I've never seen one in this community. In others, yes. I mean,
Yes,
some streets are very, very dirty, and they've got, cars, and
leaves.
some of the cars are abandoned. They're cars without plates for months. I mean, there's just like nothing going on here.
Yeah, I was outside recently because my garage opener broke and the sweeper was supposed to come. He never showed up. He never showed up on Farragut Road.
You know, I know it's going to happen. I'll go back and relay this information, and this man is going to ask me for the streets that this is happening, and
I'm tired of writing 311 tickets. I need a job. I need to get paid for this.
oh,
I did not retire to just write 311 tickets and then for them to close it and then say, oh, we don't have this as an issue. For someone to say that, they didn't show up on a particular day and say that, oh, we closed the ticket because they didn't show up, um, it's a joke. I'm not wasting another time in my life to write for 311 ticket because um, they're not going to do anything about it. Because unless someone's going to watch my footage on my tape to show that they didn't show up that day, why bother? They have the footage showing that they did not come that day for that truck. They need to prove to us that they showed up. I'm tired of playing offense or defense. I'm tired. They know what trucks didn't come that day. That's why they need to show us their spreadsheets. I've been asking for that for the last 3 years. What is the statistics of how many times you missed cleaning our streets? Especially when you're passing by the community board. How many times did you miss coming by the community board? Up and down, north and south. How many times have you missed it? That's an easy one. That's an easy one. From Utica to Nostrand Avenue, how many times did you miss?
oh man, I feel like
Sometimes when they're coming, they just drive down the middle of the street, round and round.
That's all they do.
I am the only thing I can suggest at this point is at our meeting this Wednesday, which may also be cut a little short again. Um,
I
it's
won't be there.
yeah,
It's Christmas time. I'm going to be in Florida.
good for you. Um, is to try to speak with Daniel if he's there, face to face, and if not, then I'll follow up with him and tell him that nothing has changed since we spoke, and something has to be done. I mean, they were able to get something, which was Mr. Caruso joining our meeting. That was something. Um, Maybe there's something more that they're able to do, and I'm gonna see what it is.
Like their job.
Miss,
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Well,
I see someone.
hello, this is George. My hands have been up for a little
Yeah,
while.
I'm
I don't
sorry.
know if you see it, but
Yes, yes, yes. I see it now. How you doing?
yes. Okay. Yes, I wanted to follow up on what Ms. Martinez said about they're not doing anything about the cars without plates. To me, it's gotten worse, especially in my block, because right now there are three cars with no license plates. They're not moving, and so they can't clean around them. So both sides of the streets are filthy because there's two cars on one side and then there's other one on the other one on the other side. So they go out if they come, they go around them. So you're talking about three car spaces that are not being cleaned and nothing has been done. This car's been there for like at least 2 weeks now, which I haven't had that problem in a while. So I don't know if these cars are moving from somewhere else and coming here, or is is something new. But definitely nothing has been done about cleaning. And it's inspectors supposedly coming behind the truck. They should see that those cars are sitting there for 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Well, it's
So this is, yeah, this is East 43rd between Foster and Farragut, which is the same area like where near where Miss Squash is. So this surrounding area is definitely been neglected.
so what we need in regards to that is we need an email with that information from you to the community board sanitation email so that it can then be forwarded to Mr. Caruso. So it shows that it went to him from you. You know that you witnessed this stuff and it's been documented and it's been presented to him for him to do something about it. Just the like exactly what you just said with the streets and the information as to what's happening. I mean, we're talking about maybe three sentences. If you could just do that, so at least there's the paper trail of it, so that when I go to Farrah Lewis to her or to Daniel to her, I can say that this stuff has been brought to this man's attention, which I have done for Miss Kwashi. Every time that she sends me an email, I send it to him. So I can provide this to them, so they can't say that this guy doesn't know. So
Yeah,
that'd be really helpful if you guys could send those emails.
yeah, I could do that, but I'm a bit disillusioned with what's happening with Miss Quashi, because obviously the email that she's been sending with the pictures and everything, and nothing has been done about it.
Well,
I
I
think
know.
we need to find a stronger, I guess, address the issue a little bit stronger.
Well, and
If
see,
Mhm.
I'm sorry, and that's exactly what the point of this is, right? So I originally went to Farrah Lewis's office before I was trying to deal with sanitation personally, right? And that didn't go anywhere. But it wasn't until I addressed her office personally that we then had a response from sanitation. So now that we've spoken to sanitation, we've presented sanitation with these issues. Now I can go back to her office again and say, hey, listen, this needs to now be escalated because it's still not being addressed. And that's how we're going to end up climbing the ladder, and escalating who we're going to be dealing with to address the issue. So that's exactly what I'm trying to do right now.
Yes, and also in terms of the lack of manpower, I don't buy that. They have enough manpower when it comes to issuing summonses to the homeowners in the area, because I know a couple of homeowners that have garbage flying from the businesses in front of their homes, and then they get summonses for it. They're trying to fight it, but if they have the manpower to make sure someone is around here, like 8 o'clock in the morning to issue summonses, they could have someone taking care of the big issues like Miss Kwashi has by heart, you know?
Yeah, no, you're right. It shouldn't be an issue of manpower. I mean, especially if Mr. Caruso is claiming that that's not an issue. So, yeah, I definitely would like to have him speak to Mr. Chin at the very least and come back and let us know exactly what Mr. Chen is talking about when he's saying that there's a lack of manpower for certain things.
I think you need to step it up to Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Chin's boss.
Okay.
Yeah, step it up to the top.
That's what
All
I
right.
was going to say because I want to know who is it that has the power to make these people do their job in this community? Because I pass through other communities early in the morning. I see summonses being written. I see sanitation vehicles going from car to car when it doesn't move. I mean, there is nothing going on in this community, not with the precinct, not with the sanitation, with nothing. And it's very disturbing. I mean, on Kings Highway and Church Avenue, there's a business, a man who used to sell, I guess, smoothies or something. He has taken over the entire sidewalk and the island where you have to stand to cross Kings Highway with his fruits, vegetables. Now he has Christmas trees. He has grilling going on, and that's a sanitation matter. And I
Well,
sent in a complaint and I've seen no response.
well, maybe we should bring the governor because they cleaned
Yeah,
up the streets when the governor came,
they sure did.
Yeah.
and it was clean as a whistle on Newkirk,
Mhm. It was.
sparkling clean. And I told that to um, our people, our representatives, that maybe we should deserve that also.
You know, I'll tell you something. It wasn't until I made that public announcement that I did at one of our board meetings during this year, calling out, our council members' offices, Miss Farrah Lewis's office in particular, um, who had a reaction to me doing that and also stating that maybe we should elect people that are going to make sure that they get their job done. And it was only after that, Daniel reached out to me because I had reached out to him prior to me doing that and I expected him to get back to me, but I didn't hear back from him for months. And it wasn't until I did that man spoke to me finally and apologized for not speaking with me. So I really think that the power lies in these elected officials understanding that they're supposed to work for us, and if they don't, we're going to get somebody else that will. And and it's not to take away from anything that Farrah Lewis's office has done. I'm sure she's done some notable things. But the job is to do the whole job, to do the full job. I couldn't go to work and do half my job and expect to keep it. And this is something that I think we need to send a message on to these people so they understand that they have to make sure that these things are addressed. And I think unless we do that, this is the kind of stuff that we're going to have to continue to deal with. And I think in those other neighborhoods that you guys are making references to, that it is well established between the people in the community and those elected officials that they will, use their vote to make a change if they're not going to do their job. And I don't think that we are vocal enough when it comes to that. I think that would make a big difference.
I have another quick question. I keep hearing Whitaker, Caruso, and Chin. What's the chain of command within them?
Um, I know for sure, or I believe, I should say, that Mr. Caruso is above Mr. Chin, and Mr. Whitaker is above Mr. Chin. So I don't know who supersedes Caruso or Whitaker. I don't know who's above who in that respect. But as far as I know, both of them appear to be over Mr. Chen. Those two people.
Yeah, because if none of them are acting on our requests, we need to find someone who's above them, you know, and report the thing to them. Because I don't know what, because I never heard of Mr. Cruz. This is the first time I heard his name. But I really think that, well, I know, uh,
Mr. Tate,
excuse me,
sorry, Mr.
yes,
Tate, you met Mr. Caruso when we had the meeting in my in the common driveway back
I
then.
did.
Yes, when they
Okay,
had all with all the white shirts and the green
yes,
shirts.
logo.
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
well,
there at the meeting that time.
okay, the name I don't remember, but I
Yes.
definitely think
Mhm.
that because no, the commissioner Tish is gone. We need to find someone else that is about to go above their head. You know.
Absolutely. And now that we have an interim commissioner, I think there's a lot of moving pieces.
Right.
Miss Lewis's office there, Farrah Lewis's office there, should be able to go directly to the top of the sanitation chain of command and speak directly with them. They have the power to do that.
Hmm.
And I do believe that Community Board 17, the district manager should have that information too, because in order to have the cabinet meetings that she used to have on a on a quarterly basis, she need to have all those names. So maybe that's another place that you may do some inquiry and find out from her. I'm talking to Mr. Hill. Yeah, you may want to talk to Ms. Fraser and ask if she knows who who do these three guys report.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely do that, and she could even give me their information. But if these underlings aren't going to respond to me, I don't see their boss doing it. But I definitely do see their boss responding to Miss Farrah Lewis's office. That I do see.
Yes, but what I'm saying, if he may not respond to you, but he may inquire for them why they're not doing the job.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'll give it a shot, but I'm also gonna speak to Daniel again and tell them that they need to step this up because I mean, there's only so much that I can do. I mean, I would love to say, hey, listen, me reaching out to these guys means something to them, but I don't think it does. I think it means something when their office reaches out. That means something because if I meant anything, I wouldn't have had to go to their office in order to get one of their people to join our meeting. You know, um, but I really think that there's a process, with us reaching out, or let's say even with you, reaching out to sanitation or getting information to them, writing a ticket, sending the email to the sanitation committee email, and getting it forward to the person in sanitation that is the liaison for us. You know, there is a process that is available to us that we're supposed to be using through our elected officials to go straight to the top, so these people can sit there and sort out what needs to be done. But I don't feel that we are taking advantage of that process the way we should. And then when they come to those general board meetings and they sit there and they talk about doing these very nice gestures of community related events. I mean, yeah, that sounds wonderful and everything, but that's something that you do after you address the main issues. I feel like those things that they do are more like distractions, just to make people feel like they're doing something, so then it's like we become a bit more accepting, I guess, to the shortcomings that they have in other areas, significant areas.
They call complacency.
Yeah. I feel like those little sprinkles of whatever you want to call them, I call them diversionary things, are what they
Smoke.
focus on doing.
It's called smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, exactly. I personally don't want to sit there and listen to that crap. When I'm sitting there and I'm hearing them talking about these drives and everything, which are good, drives are a good thing, but that's not what I want to hear coming from them. I mean, when they're making these reports, this is what they're constantly talking about. Where's the significant work that is being addressed that they're talking about? Like with these sanitation issues, for example, I've never heard them get up there and just start talking about the sanitation issues that they've corrected. I've never heard it. I've been to so many of these meetings and I have not heard them talk about something like that yet. But then she wants to sit there and talk about how, oh, I've been out on the street and I've picked up, poop off the floor with my bare hands. Like, I don't want to hear that either.
What street, and what community?
you know, Jesus. It's all a lie. And she was so pissed with me when I sat there and I called her out like that. She wouldn't even look at me. But I don't care.
Mhm. Can I make a suggestion?
Sure.
The next time you have a meeting, be it now January, start doing a comparison between how they work in this community and how they work in other communities. Not just one. Go to say 18, go to 9, go to 14, and do a comparison. And then give them those facts and call them out on it. Because that's the only way you're going to get equality, because we don't have it. I see them sweeping, cleaning in other communities down Kings Highway, but on my section, you have to beg them to come. So how do they get that done? And we can't get anything done except lip service.
Yeah, exactly. It's all BS. It's all BS. It is all BS. And I think the next time that I give my reports, I think I'm going to mention that, just how good these things are that they're doing, but it's not what we need most right now. We don't need those things most right now. We need these things most. And yes, we can also do that too. We can also do the drives and everything, but we also need this. It shouldn't be one or the other. And it looks like it's always the other. It looks like it's always the other stuff. And that makes no sense.
Well, could I ask a favor?
Yep.
Could you, the next time one of your chairpersons, your fellow chairpersons, say that they want to have a cleanup, could you shoot them? I don't want to hear about another
You know,
chairperson.
I gotta tell you, I feel the same way. Oh my God, I feel the same way.
I'm not doing it.
Oh my God, yeah, that's insane. I mean, there shouldn't be a cleanup necessary if sanitation's doing their job.
Thank you.
What
If
the hell is that? I don't understand. I don't
did
understand that.
when the governor came to Newkirk Avenue, did you see anybody coming up to do a cleanup? No. They cleaned up the place. They cleaned it up. It was spotless. So stop it. That's
Yeah.
my comment. That's my comment. Rodney's and Rita and Farah need to stop.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm telling you guys, if you guys would just give give it a shot, just give it a shot. If I get up there and start making references again to changing our elected officials, and there's even a few voices out there that show that they are in agreement with this idea, they're going to hear it, and it is going to make them nervous. They don't want to hear that.
But
You
there's
know, they
nobody running against them that's of inequality. That's the problem.
well, and listen, and that may be true. That may be true. But it doesn't mean that the idea of that is something they want to hear. They still don't want to hear that, you know. And I got to tell you,
They keep they
when
keep they keep running uncontested. That's the problem.
I did see that, I mean, I took special notice of that when I went to vote, this last time around, and I took a look at that ballot, and I was just looking at this, and I was just like, wow, look at this. Such a slam dunk for these people. Such a slam dunk. The one name. And oh man.
How about this? We find somebody, anybody, just to put their name on the ballot. Back that person and scare the hell out of them.
You see now, what you just said is so simple, right? I mean, that is a simple thing to do. But because we as a community are so just divided.
Lapsadaisical?
I'm sorry?
Lapsadaisical?
Well, yes, and divided and complicit.
Lapsadaisical.
No.
That's lapsadaisical. Complacency. They sit on their laurels and do nothing. Or they sit on their hands and they say, oh, it's somebody else's job. Until they
Mhm.
want something. Until they need something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly.
the fact.
Ah, man, man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Hmm.
Hazel knows me. If I did it, they'd kill me.
I mean, any one of us could do that, right? Any one of us could put our name there.
All you have to do is put your hat in the ring.
Uh,
Listen, you can't do this, but I know how to get this done. And watch them get scared. Everything you haven't done, I'm gonna make sure we get it done.
yeah.
That's all. You do the pros and cons.
Well, oh man, jeez. Oh boy. Oh,
I'm straight across all the committees.
hmm.
Not just sanitation. All here, this about all the committees.
Oh man. Uh, when is she up for re-election again? Is that 2 years from now? What is she up for?
Probably in the next year.
Oh boy. You know,
And Adam's got to go too. He ain't no good.
ain't that the truth? Ain't that the truth? Well, oh, Miss Martinez, did you have something you want to say?
Yes, because it's not just sanitation that's the problem. It as the people who live in this community or come here to do business mostly, because people struggle and they clean in front of their homes. I see a lot of seniors who could hardly do it, cleaning in front of their home. And in the next couple hours, people come through and just throw things all over the place. Every day you come out, there's stuff all over the place, papers and dishes and take out dishes when they're eating the cutlery. And really, I'm tired of that. I'm tired of being responsible for cleaning. You clean, you have landscapers, they clean up, and when you come back 5 minutes later, you see oxtail bones all over the street. I've had enough of it, frankly. And the school kids come. I live a couple blocks down from a McDonald's. I'm praying when they pass here that they didn't finish eating it because it's all on your sidewalk and everywhere. No one has any kind of civic pride around here.
No pride, period.
Well, if there's one thing that I enjoy doing, it's confronting and uh, you know, putting people in check. I do enjoy doing this, and I would love the opportunity to do that here. But I I don't know. You know, I just have so much hesitation with this idea because I have definitely seen what it's like for someone to decide to try to do something on behalf of others, and those others don't necessarily come out to support that idea, and you're kind of just left with the status quo anyway. um
You mean we're left with the echo?
yeah, exactly. you know
With the
uh,
crickets in the background?
yeah, right.
Or the crickets better step it up or they're going to get squished.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna, like I said, reach out to her office again and try to be and be more persuasive with her, reaching out to the head of sanitation and doing something about this, and see what happens there. I mean, the alternative and the most significant one is, as we've established, is that when you put these people in fear of losing their positions, that's when they suddenly start to get out and start getting things done, and they're not sitting there and trying to send you or feed you little food drives and little clothing drives. And oh god, it's so irritating listening to that every Wednesday, man. I just uh but you know I really believe that the true power to address these issues lies in our ability to vote these people in and vote them out. And because we don't do that, they do not feel that there's anything they have to do other than show up to a couple of meetings and do some, you know, simple stuff to say that they've done something. But yeah. So, I'm going to do that. I'm going to see what comes of it. Hopefully it's productive. And if it's not, if, during the meeting following that conversation with them, we're once again back here again, you know, we all know what the definition of insanity is. And
Holly?
I don't want to be in that loop. Um, and then, I mean, if you guys want to talk about alternatives that we have discussed here tonight, we can do that and see what
Well,
happens.
I like to see, I would like to push, like I had mentioned before, to when Rudy was on the call, is to get our city officials to start changing some of the rules on the books for sanitation. Um, put some penalties out there. And one of them is, instead of citizens like ourselves cleaning the streets. Instead of giving them hefty fines, have them go out there and clean what they littered. I think that would be more advantageous, that if you had to go out there and clean the street that you littered, instead of paying a $50 fine, you went out there to clean the street for 3 days, for 7 hours. You wouldn't drop anything on that street again, would you?
Yeah.
I think that would be a more advantageous fine, where you working with sanitation to clean up the street with the broom in your community. Since we're complaining that they never take the broom and sweep, let them get off the truck when sanitation drops something and let them sweep it up with the broom in our community.
Yeah, but Vanessa, it's hard to catch those people when they sitting there eating their food and throw it out the corridor or slide it
That's why I
underneath the
said.
car.
That's why I said let them change some of the rules. Like let our cameras now start catching them. Let change that rule where let the cameras work.
They have a program. If you have a camera on your property through NYPD, you can link it to their system, and that's how they can go after people. I sent you I think it's a picture of it. Did you get it?
Yes, but I was having problems with my phone. So, but thank you.
You're welcome.
I've been doing updates with it,
What
trying
I'm
to
going to
get it.
say is, the politicians that don't want to work on our behalf, something they don't like, and that's a rally against them, pulling out their
Yeah, so,
faults. You do that, put their names up there, they are not going to be happy.
Yep. That's the truth.
That's the truth. That's the truth. The action we need to take. It is not extreme.
I,
but
I
they,
really think I really think that we need to fight for them to change that rule that unless the sanitation inspectors see them in action, they they can get a ticket. Because
exactly.
they should be able to use the videos that are submitted to them the same way that the police department could come and check your video for evidence
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
use it. I don't see why sanitation can't do the same thing. So that they should change that rule to.
Tell me the code.
Mhm.
I'm sorry. That's the same, that is city council that has that rule.
Yeah. Mhm.
City council.
That's
Right.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah, the city council, we should have a city council to change that rule. Because if they could use it for the police department, I don't see why they can't use it for sanitation. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
Yeah, but that would require your elected officials to actually do some real work. So,
But there's a
Yeah,
good way.
well,
You
as you
know,
said,
there's a way around that.
we elect them to do the work.
Well,
If
if they change the rule to allow us to pay brokers fees, they can do that one.
Right,
mm-hmm.
exactly.
yeah.
So they're greedy. They have to graft the money. But there's another way around it. Looks like they have traffic enforcement, sanitation enforcement. Put the sanitation enforcement videos through the through PD. It's a way around it. But they don't have to change anything. Is it to change the procedure? Just change the department. All they have to do is attach sanitation enforcement PD.
Well, I think that at the end of the day, we know what we can do to nip this in the bud. And it really is a simple tool. But, the question is, are we going to use it? I don't think it's a difficult thing to do. I mean, it really isn't. We sit here and we'll talk for an hour and a half, and complain about what's not happening. But we could scratch that hour and a half out and just spend 5 minutes, voicing our opinions about these elected officials during our general board meeting. And that would have such a more significant impact than what we're doing here right now. 5 minutes.
Well, you're the only one allowed to talk.
Exactly, because
Well, that's not
if we're not
true
board member, we
because
can't.
when I get
Unless we're board member, we can't talk.
when
That's a
we
fact.
when we give our reports, there's then the opportunity for anyone to sit there and ask any questions. And
That's not necessarily true
No,
because
no,
it's often limited to one, maybe two questions and or none at all. So that's not
only
true.
board members.
and that's true. But I I do think that even if it's two people that get up on that microphone and just support the idea of changing our elected officials, put it out there on that mic, that's going to make a difference because it made a difference when I did it by myself. So if there is even one or two voices echoing the same sentiment, it's going to matter. So
But I have a question. If everybody agrees on this committee meeting right now, is there any way we could take an official vote to do such a thing? This way, when that person gets up there, they can say, listen, I have the backing of the entire committee. We voted on it. We want them gone.
well, you're talking about our elected official.
Yes.
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm sorry, I don't know if I
A
understood your
petition.
question.
Or
Um,
petition.
but you're talking about a petition from the community board or from the community board
Yes, from
members.
the community itself, say any community member or committee member, say, listen, we're tired of the lackadaisical treatment that we've been given. You want to emphasize your community, and you do so well over there. What happened here? You do nothing.
Well, I would say that is definitely within our power to do that. I mean, that sounds like a very standard thing. I mean, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
If they hear
definitely.
it,
The question is,
like you said, if they hear it, they're not gonna like it.
yeah, and I'm telling you that makes a big difference. I would love you guys to join me in, seeing the reaction. I mean, when she got up there and she wasn't even at the meeting when I made the comments that I made, but whoever was there for her made sure to let her know, and she addressed it when she went up there because she's afraid of that.
She
You
don't want
know,
bad.
yeah, she wants to keep the smoke screen going. And I started clearing it up, and she didn't like that.
Oh, like I said, backing, solidarity. That's what
Yeah,
has to.
we got nothing to lose. They can't get mad at us. What are they going to
No,
do?
you can get mad all they want, but we're the constituents.
Yeah, exactly. They have to perform. They have to do it.
Like I suggested years ago, the cheat sheet for what they do, for what they don't do. Every politician in this community needs one. They need to be held accountable to us.
When we're sitting there at these community board meetings, these are the types of things that we should be talking about. We should have a section for our meetings where we are reminding ourselves of what we have the ability to do and you know understanding the power of what we have the ability to do and what it means to these elected officials.
We
That's
the,
so important.
that's what we the people means.
Well, it doesn't help him if we're not at the meeting because you don't have a voice if you're sitting on the camera.
No, that's what I said. We sign a petition. He goes up there with that paper. He shows this is the backing of the entire committee. This is the backing of people in the community who signed this petition.
Yeah, that's huge too.
Been written up and given those summonses for cleaning other people's trash. Sign the petition.
That would be huge as well. I'm telling you, that would go a long way, so much further than anything that we have done up until this point.
All right. It's winter time. Where are you going to get these people from?
Well,
They're still out there writing sentences. They don't care. It's a
well,
homeowners who have to go out there and clean behind slobs.
I,
Who?
I, hmm?
Now I'm just being Angel's advocate. We were trying to get petition signed for something else recently, I would say about a year ago,
Mhm.
for land use. I couldn't get one of these turkeys around here to sign nothing. Okay,
Well,
a lot of these people around here are what you call disengaged. Some of these people here are what you called they were interjected into this community, so they have no investment. So they just came into this community. There's a lot of new people here. They're not vested. So um, good luck with getting those petitions signed.
well,
And I'm
mhm.
just telling you, I'm just saying it's not going to be an easy slam dunk to get those petitions signed.
Oh, no,
Talking about people who issued summonses for cleaning up, not cleaning up in front of their homes. Believe me, they're going to be pissed when they hear exactly the fact that they have to pay for sanitation not to do their jobs.
and I was gonna say that, the areas that you guys live in that are having these issues, I would think that that would be a pretty simple thing for those people that are actually being exposed to these consistent problems, that they'd be interested in signing a petition, you know?
No, they're not. I stand outside, and a lot of them are what you call tenants who just moved here and they're on vouchers.
I ain't talking about tenants. I'm talking
Okay,
about the homeowners. They have to pay
they
it.
ain't no
Tenants,
homeowners. They all either moved to Florida or they moved somewhere else on my block.
well, in my community, my area on Kings Highway, we live here.
Okay, well then you're lucky. But on my block on Troy Avenue, they're all gone. They left the village.
Mm-mm.
Well, there's definitely
So
got to be.
that's the reason why I have my challenges, because the homeowners have either used it as a cash cow, or they sold it, and these LLCs have it. So I have maybe very few homeowners that live on this block. That's why the block association has turned into vapor.
Well, I think at the very least, you know, stepping up to the microphone will definitely be worth doing. And the petition is still something that can be looked into. I think that that's also a good idea. But obviously, the more practical and straightforward thing that could be done is just getting up on that microphone and just echoing the sentiment, for them to hear at the very least. Definitely go a long way.
Good luck with Rudy.
Well, I mean,
Board members.
he's definitely, well, he's not even going to be at the meeting coming up. I don't think he's going to be able to make it to this meeting coming up. But even if he's there or not there, he always asks if anyone has any questions, and he definitely allows at least one. In most cases, or two. And that'd be enough. I
Mr.
think that'd
Hill.
be enough. Yes.
Yes. Now you would have to speak to Rudy, because I have argued with Rudy on the side many times that he does not allow non non board members to speak. He always say board members only, because even when I was a board member, I used to ask questions when non-members would come to me and give me the question, because he always says board members only. So unless it doesn't matter if you're a committee member or not. If you're not a board member, he's not going to let you speak. So maybe you need to discuss that with him to give the opportunity for committee members who are not board members to be able to speak. Because I've had the discussion with him many, many times because I think it's unfair. It's unfair to the general public.
Well, I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I get it, of course. Um, I don't know that I'm going to be able to win that battle.
I agree.
Unfortunately, but it doesn't mean that there aren't board members out there that, aren't available to get up and do it. I think that that's still a possibility to have some board members do it. But yeah, but like I said, I'm gonna speak to Farrah Lewis's office again and see what the response is. And when I give my report, I'm gonna, talk about what has been discussed and people's concerns and what people are thinking. And people are thinking maybe our
Recall.
elected. I'm sorry.
Recall.
Exactly. Um, People are thinking that there maybe needs to be a change, and I'm going to be pretty frank with what I'm going to say, with what I said here today. I mean, I don't care what these people think. I don't care if they get upset. Like, it doesn't mean anything to me,
Yeah, they work. We don't work for them.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what I'll do.
I'd love to be the fly on that wall because I'm very direct.
Yeah. Yep. I appreciate that. Being direct is always good. I can't stand people that sit there and want to dance around things and throw up the smoke screens and want to be deceptive. Like, no, 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 no. I call people out on that stuff.
I don't like smoke and mirrors. I don't like the puff game. I prefer being very direct and addressing the issue as is.
Well, I doubt there's going to be many people at our meeting this Wednesday, but I'm still going to say what I need to say. I think we should probably do roll call at this point. Michael Hill, present.
George State, present.
Vanessa Quashie, present.
Hazel Martinez, present.
Monica McCain Brown, present.
Leonie Logan, present.
Jadeva Smith, present.
You guys spoke over each other.
Jadeva Smith, present.
Edith Mark, present.
Kimberly Shelley, present.
Oh, sorry, you guys spoke over each other again.
Sorry. Theo Mon, present.
Kimberly Shelley, present.
Okay, I believe that was everyone. Well, everyone, we are towards the end of our meeting. I'm sorry that, things are the way that they are. And, I got to say, it's pretty crazy. You see this stuff on TV with the politicking, and just the BS that happens. And then it's like, you come to this sort of thing, which is, the lowest of the totem pole with the elected officials, man. You get exposed to this stuff and you see it firsthand, and it's just crazy. It's just so crazy to see this stuff, and then you wonder, like, are these people like real people? Like, how do you not just get out there and take pride in the fact that you've got this opportunity to sit there and reach out to these people and speak to them and get out there and just advocate for people. I mean, that should be just like an amazing thing to be able to do, and there should be so much pride behind being able to do that. And you know, these people, they just, it's like it's a joke, you know, and it's just crazy. It's just so crazy to me. But hopefully, you know, we will put an end to this cycle in the near future. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in one way or another at the next meeting or meetings. And I hope you guys all have a great holiday and you guys are safe.
Thank you. You too. Happy
You looking for an
holidays.
motion to end the meeting?
Yes, yes. Thank you for that. And if anyone wouldn't mind making a motion to end the
Okay,
meeting.
George did make a motion to end the meeting at 8:53.
Anyone second?
Vanessa Pashi seconds it.
Okay, good evening, everyone. If I don't see you, I'll have a blessed holiday.
Thank you. You too. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank
Merry
you.
Christmas, everyone.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Happy holidays.
Good night, everyone.